Welcome to your daily tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries Tarot here on Astrology Motivation. Be sure that you are subscribed to both channels. Over here, the only way you can participate in the live chat is if you are a subscriber. Over on Born Without Boundaries Tarot, the only way you can participate in the tarot question and answer is if you are a subscriber. So please be sure to join in and be a subscriber. And ring that notification bell so that you know when I go live, because I never go live at the same time on either of the channels. So you'll need that. What's up, guys? So nice to see you there. So nice to see you. Hope we can start chit-chatting. Remember, as soon as you log on, or just don't forget to like the video, because that's what I'm saying. So what is this? This is a general tarot card reading. It's one reading. It's not a question and answer. That happens on Born Without Boundaries Tarot on Fridays. Here, this is a general tarot card reading that I do Monday through Friday. The message is for you because you've been drawn to hear it. Whatever questions you have on your heart or in your mind, even if this is your first tarot card reading ever and the last one ever, this message was somehow for you. It will answer those questions, or at least some of them. That's why you were drawn here to listen to it. That's why the thumbnail got your attention. That's why you clicked on it. That's why. So hopefully you can join in the live chat too. What's going on, Jennifer? Hey, Perla. Good morning. Oh, from Australia. Gosh, it must be really early in the morning for you over there. Hello to you in Australia. Love being here live with you. I love that you're here live, Jennifer. Thank you. I love that you're alive, Jennifer. Hey, Rajing, what's up? Aquarius reading was very special. Great energy. Hello to you, Black Moon. What's up, Thor? What's up? So I am, nope, this is not like it's not a fresh and groomed. You see, I don't have a studio. The Aquarius reading was beautiful, but it was also horrible because I fucked up with the sound again. I really need somebody's help when it comes to setting up the studio space and making everything functional, because right now I love my desk, but it creaks. It's creaky, and that even doesn't bother me. But it's the sound always, it's not like I just need help. Listen, I am an astrologer and a tarot card reader. I am a spiritualist. At the highest level, I am a teacher, and hopefully I provide inspiration. I don't give a fuck about making videos. I don't care about lighting, but this is the medium that I'm on. And so I've learned a little bit about it, but you can clearly see it's just not my priority. I'm looking at the charts. I'm getting ready to relay an intuitive message. I'm not. And so often it just kind of like, it gets really messed up. So I apologize. The Aquarius reading was beautiful, however, and I hope that even though the sound was off, you could still enjoy it. I tried to do a few things with the sound so that you could hear it better. Believe it or not, what you got was actually an improved upon version, not like the good version itself, not the original version. It was really horrible. What I do is I have this lapel mic, which I'm not using now. Right now I'm using the speaker from my computer, which also sucks. I got to get an actual camera is what I got to get. I usually use this little lapel clip, but so often I just want to get into the reading. I just got to go. I forget to clip it to myself, and it ends up recording. Like I put the other end into my phone, right? I stick it in my phone, but I forget to take it out of this drawer here that I have. It ends up recording from underneath the desk. And I can't tell you how much that fucking sucks. So whatever, I think I got to get one of those microphones that stands on my desk. I think that'll be a lot better for me. let's look over the astrology today. But thank you so much. And I'm glad, Regine, that you were able to enjoy the video. I'm really glad that you were able to enjoy it, despite the fact that it was sound quality challenged, because the message was exceptional. And I wanted to share it with you. I didn't want to throw it away. These are channeled messages. I can't get them back if I do the reading again. It'll be a similar message, but it won't be the same. And I wanted to give that message to you guys because it was awesome. And so I had to upload it with compromised sound. You could still hear it, but that's why I was telling everybody, pump up the volume, because you'll need it. People complain about my volume all the time. It's like, I get it. Like, I don't know who the fuck are these tarot card readers that have set up their studios and, but they've done it. They've learned it, or they're working for somebody who does it for them. I care about channeling messages and astrology. I don't have the mindset for video stuff. So I do have to get better at it because this is my platform. But it's tough. It's honestly tough for me because it's like I don't have a natural interest in editing videos or doing all this stuff. I do, it's just not, I have a natural interest in performance. I actually went to college for that. But once again, where you aim the camera, the light you put on me, that's your choice. I just focus on speaking out and talking to people. So that's where I've always been. So I apologize, but Aquarius, but I hope that you were able to still get the beautiful reading, because it really was a beautiful reading. It really was a beautiful message for you. And I wanted to share it with you. So that's why it got compromised again. But anyway, beautiful messages, awesome messages, really interesting messages. All this week, really interesting messages, surprising outcomes. I'm not surprised because Uranus has such a big hand in the game. I'm not surprised that I'm surprised. I'm not surprised that these curveballs are coming at us. But I am surprised by the curveballs because you can't really predict about it. This is a bunch of unpredictables here. The reading was great still. Okay. So thank you so much, Black Moon. I appreciate that. I really do. Let's get into the astrology, shall we? Hey, Sharon, what's up? So the astrology, today is November 9th, Wednesday, and the astrology is still pretty intense, though the intensity is waning. Now, this is a really interesting day because this is the day when Saturn is square to Venus, Mercury, and the Sun. So let's talk about Venus, Mercury, and the Sun. The Sun is at 17 degrees Scorpio. Mercury is at 18 degrees. That is absolutely a conjunction. Within 1 degree, that is a conjunction. But the Venus is at 22 degrees, which means she's at the farthest angle difference. So the difference between 17 degrees and 22 degrees is 5 degrees. That's the largest that I feel comfortable saying there's a strong impact they're having on each other. So they're in a loose conjunction right now. But the fact that Mercury is 18 degrees and Mercury's a little closer to Venus, and Mercury and Venus will start to conjunct as they move away from the Sun. So it's interesting. It's interesting how these two are starting to team up, and it's still very interesting how they all have a powerful connection with each other right now. There's a real concentration of energy. What is the Sun rule? Our sense of self, our sense of purpose, our passions, our life purpose, our courage for living life, and how basically we color everything that we do. What is our primary modus operandi? What is it like? What is our default mode? That is the Sun. And then we have Mercury, and Mercury rules our intellect, the way that we communicate with each other. It rules anything that has to do with I don't want to say it rules logic, but it is logical and it is pragmatic, which is why it rules both Gemini and Virgo. it basically rules how we go about figuring things out, right? And definitely how we communicate ourselves to the world, how we receive communication as well. Because remember, communication is not just a one-way street, right? Communication is speaking and listening. So Mercury rules both of those things. It rules how we communicate, and how we receive other people's communication. FYI. And you'll find that with your Mercury sign in your natal chart, some are better than others. It's like Gemini is an exceptional listener. Exceptional listener. They're also very eloquent with words. So it tends to be that because Mercury rules them, they have both sides. Some people are very good listeners, but they're not good at expressing themselves with words. Like a Cancer Mercury is very bad at expressing itself with words. And it receives communication primarily through psyche and empathy. Words aren't easy for most water moons, especially not a Mercury in Scorpio. Those motherfuckers are trapped shut. They don't speak. They don't like to say anything. But they're going to be the first motherfuckers who are going to be stalking online to find out everything else about everybody else. Oh, yes. So if you want to communicate with a Mercury in Scorpio, put information where they'll look at it, but they weren't supposed to. Just saying. But they're very, very bad at actual verbal communication. Most water sign Mercuries are. I think the best one is probably Pisces Mercury, and I'm happy to debate like intellectually, astrologically debate that, but I think the best at putting things into words, and usually musically, because that's where Pisces and Mercury really meet very well, is music. That is a beautiful combination for them. So if they can use words because it links to rhythms, Pisces Mercury is very good at that. But it's in terms of words in general, the water signs, we don't got it. We're not good at words, but we're good at understanding subtext. We're good at really understanding what people mean, if there's meaning behind what they say, or if they're lying. So if they're saying something that doesn't connect to what they're feeling, we'll know it right away, because we have that sort of subverted psychic communication going on. But Mercury rules words. That's what it does. It's all about words. So they could be pretty challenged. And fire sign Mercuries are so good at speaking their mind. My Mercury is in Leo. I'm so good at speaking my mind. I sometimes blunt. I don't necessarily put things into a flowery context. I'm not an artist with words, but I get to my point and I make sure you hear it. And even my voice, you can tell I got a very loud voice. I'm not yelling at people, but I like to be heard. At the same time, I'm not the best listener, because I always fire signs. You want to be heard. Fire sign Mercury, you want to be heard. You like to be heard. You have confidence in what you have to say, especially Leo Mercury, but you're not the best at listening to what other people have to say. And that goes right through to when I read, it takes me a few times to read, because I'm always thinking my own thoughts, and my own thoughts are always getting in the way of just me shutting that out and reading the words and letting them sink in. So it takes me time. That could also be a form of dyslexia too, but I've never been diagnosed. Yeah. So okay, I've got off on a tangent, but Mercury rules both how you listen to words and how you speak words. And then we have Venus, and Venus rules value. That's what she does. Romance is ruled by Leo. It's ruled by the sun. It's what we care about the most, what we love the most. It's what makes our life worth living and inspiration. Venus doesn't rule those things. The sun does. That's Leo energy. Venus, and I think oftentimes that is mistaken. Venus rules decadence. Venus rules attractiveness. Venus rules maybe even eroticism is more Pluto, but I mean, whatever. Venus rules sensuality, not necessarily sexuality. Sexuality is definitely Scorpio, Pluto, but because it's primal, but sensuality, the sensual things. And that's not all, just not always, low cleavage or a nice low scooped back or bulging muscles, right? It's also food. It's also chocolate and decadent foods and foie gras. And this is why Taurus loves food so much. It's a sensuality. It's a physical sensuality. Taurus is ruled by Venus. Venus does rule who we qualify as a good partner, because she rules Libra. So she, like, what are the qualities? What do we like about people, right? So all of this is bundled right now in Scorpio, which is 8th house. Hide everything. I don't want you to know. I don't want you to see. It's my business. It's my business. I don't want to share. I want to be in control. But there's still an opposition to Uranus, which is, I'm going to surprise you. So it's almost like, in some ways, we're in a cocoon right now, changing. We don't want to be seen as we change. That's the cocoon. We don't want people to know that we're voting for the other candidate. We don't want people to know that we're starting to have feelings for somebody we normally wouldn't. We don't want people to know that we found out information or know things that we're not supposed to know. This is like, we are changing, but those changes are somehow going on behind closed doors. They are in harmony with Neptune, though, which means that we are conceiving something new. And this will be a permanent change. And that is why, and Saturn, thank God, is square to all this happening, which means it's quality control. So something is brewing right now. And it's not until really next week that starts to emerge from the cocoon. I would say Sunday is when we can really start to see things for what they are, or for what they have just emerged as. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hold on. Hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on, guys. Okay, so we can cast that out to Sunday, Monday. It's like things just start to get easier. And you'll see the trines and the sextiles are all like, right now we're all kinds of like oppositions, and it's like all kinds of oppositions and squares right now in the sky. But by the end of next week, or as we head into next week, it's not going to be that way. There's all these sextiles and trines. It's just the ebb and flow. The challenges are there for us to grow. They're not there to hurt us at all. And by Monday, November 14th, so Monday of this coming week, to be honest with you, like Uranus is still sort of riding the North Node, and still in opposition to the Sun. But that's not going to last for much longer either. That only lasts till Wednesday. And then Venus heads into Sagittarius next Wednesday. And that is like liberation. That is liberation. And that really took off in the Libra reading. That was like, oh, I can finally breathe again. I can finally get out of this fucking closet that I was stuck in. And I can finally be myself and show that I'm interested in weird things. And there's freedom there, and there's excitement there, and there's energy there again. Venus is much happier in Sagittarius than she is in Scorpio. Scorpio is a hard place for her. And it's not the best place for Mercury either. So it's a difficult energy. No, it's not a bad place for Mercury though. Not the best place for the sun. Horrible place for the sun. I mean, so we're starting to see a lightening in the air. We're starting to see a relief, and things are starting to feel like they make sense again by next week. But we're still today in a crunch period. We're still crunching. Hey, Sarah. Hey, my love. Oh, okay. Thank you, Sarah. God bless. Hey, Erilyn. Please advise me what future have wait for me in my... Okay, so Erilyn, I will definitely get to the reading. Absolutely. And I'm sure there will be answers there for you. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Sophie. What time is it in Australia now? It's like 1:30 up here. Must be early morning over there. What's up, Snooze? You could have a checklist. I'm sorry, I have him at 5:30 a.m. Okay, thank you for answering. That's awesome. And God bless you and your little early morning self. That's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. Oh, wow. So you guys are 16 hours ahead? Yeah, because we're also daylight savings time. So that makes sense. That makes more sense because daylight savings time it's a device, not a real, it's a method, it's a strategy, it's not a reality. So really, I think right now we're supposed to be 2:30 in the afternoon, which would mean you guys are 15 hours ahead of us. Really interesting. That's so cool. And God bless you for getting up at 5:30 in the morning and coming on and enjoying this. I just got 2222. Oh, synchronicity. Let's get into the reading. Let's get into the reading. Word. The Hanged Man. Stuck. Stagnated, or like I just said, the cocoon. The cocoon. Who's here saying it? Hey, Kookie. 4 of Swords is here. You know what? It's almost like Spirit is answering, why are we in the cocoon? What are we supposed to be doing? We're in the cocoon to go back and reconcile old shit and make peace with our past. Not to say that we've done anything wrong, but all that guilt or shame that we felt, it doesn't matter right or wrong. It's still real. It's also reconciling some different issues in the past so that we can be free to start something brand new. So that is what Spirit is answering. Spirit's like sitting here, listening, answering the questions. Michelle, this is what you need to say. This is why this is happening. This is why you're in the cocoon. You've got to reconcile and finish up all the stuff that you couldn't control. And it's true. You don't know what's coming next. You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to be following now. You're supposed to be following the universe. You're not meant to be leading or deciding. Then we have strength, because faith takes strength. And that's taking a leap of faith, even though you don't know where you're leaping to. 3 of Wands is here in a central energy, which means what we've invested in, we are getting back threefold. Your ships are coming in. 10 of Wands, we worked really, really hard to the point of maybe overstraining ourselves. There's been too much work. And the moon card is here, maybe doing too much work and not letting people know how heavy the burdens are, or these are burdens that we've been holding on to, is what Spirit's saying. These are burdens that we've been holding on to, but keeping secret. Keeping secret. But they also help us to create, don't they? Those burdens inside of us that we're keeping secret, we're learning how to use them now. They're coming up, so we're using them as resources. So we're not just, it's not just our difficulties or challenges are disappearing, they are reappearing so that we figure out how to make them go away permanently. And the only way to make something go away permanently is to learn from it. And Six of Wands means, yeah, we're finally able to figure that out. That those burdens and that stress, we can finally move away from. Seven of Pentacles is here, figuring out what it was that was keeping us back, what it was that was keeping us just not fucking moving forward. You know, like why did we fail? Work could have been work ethic, could have been the work we were doing, could just be that we needed time to heal. What do you want us to know, please, God, by the Hermit? What is that supposed to mean? It's that you had to finish the cycle. It's all karma, because this is major arcana. It says what you've worked for, you're going to get back. You're finally going to get returns on your hard work. Now, sometimes we overestimate our value because what's felt like hard work to us really wasn't that special. And I got to say, I know that's mean, but not all of us are going to hit the jackpot. Not all of us are going to, and not everybody who hits the jackpot is deserving. You know, it's not necessarily saying that the game changes based on your imagination. And I think that we had to clear. That's what was so difficult about the beginning of this week, with, and still now, with how, let me see, Neptune, with how Neptune and Jupiter are square to Mars, but Mars is in retrograde. Starting to see that how we perceived all our work wasn't necessarily our work being appreciated, or our work really making a difference, or being as good as we thought it was. Right? It's almost like, where were the delusions of grandeur when it came to what we did and our performance? Or what did we rush by and not do well enough so that if we fix it, we can move forward? Because it's not about, you know, criticizing or criticism. It's saying, if you want to move forward, you got to move back to fix this shit because you rushed past it. We had a lot of energy impacting Mars or action this year. So much energy. With Jupiter and Aries, that's like rocket fuel, man. Right? And it's just like, I think we whisked by a lot of important stuff. And this retro period has been about fix that shit up, because look at Neptune square Mars. It wasn't done correctly. You just imagined it was because you didn't really want to look at it. So now we have to face where we misperceived and fix it. And if we're willing to fix it, well then, you know, maybe we all will be jackpot winners. Whatever your personal jackpot is. But that's what this time is now. That's why it's felt so weird and felt so surprising. And maybe you've been angry a lot lately and frustrated because a lot of old shit is coming back for you to redo it, right? I have to do it again. I have to, like, why am I going through this again? Because you didn't do it right the first time. Got to fix it. God still wants you to have the abundance. It's just that you've got to fix it. You've got to make it right. And this is also the universe doing it too. What the universe didn't make right, it fixing up and it patching up as well. And the uber exposure of who's taking advantage of the process. Oh, thank you, Kajal. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you for that beautiful little unicorn. I love rainbows and I love unicorns. I'm still a little girl that way. I love them so much. So thank you so much for your support. I appreciate that. Let's get into a moon card. I always love to pick a moon card, me being Cancerian. We have balanced spirituality and practicality, which is kind of what this Neptune square Mars is all about. Like, it's good to believe, it's good to manifest. I think the most famous example of this is Jim Carrey's interview with Oprah Winfrey, at least for us in the United States. When he, I think for the first time, brought up the fact that he had written a check to himself, famously now. He said, and this is the thing, this is the fantasy, because the only clip that's usually played is him describing how he wrote out a $10 million check to himself. He said to Jim Carrey, for services rendered in acting and comedy. And he wrote it out to himself. And 10 years later, he got his first big film debut and made $10 million off of it. Wow, magic. Oh, magical. Oh, that's all anybody ever plays. They don't play the rest of the conversation where she says, yeah, but in that 10 years you were working your butt off. He's like, oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You can't just write out the check and then just expect that it's going to happen magically. You have to do the hard work. How come no one ever plays that part of the fucking clip? See, that's that Neptune. Fantasy, delusion. Just because we write it out every Sunday or every full moon, oh, it's supposed to magic. Are you working on it? How hard have you been busting your ass? If you really believe that you're going to make $10 million, then you'll go out there on that stage and you'll risk bombing. You'll go to those auditions and you'll risk getting refused, which I'm sure Jim Carrey did time and time again. I know he got refused from Saturday Night Live. He auditioned for them. He didn't get it. So there's just this sense of if you really believe that $10 million is already in your hand, then you get out there and do it. You don't wait for it to be in your hand to feel safe enough. That's bullshit. You got to live like it's already yours, even when it's not, which is the scary, dangerous, risky, valuable part of the manifestation process. And nobody ever talks about that part. But that's really what this is about. Balanced spirituality with practicality. It's not just about the faith and the prayers. It's living like you know that those prayers have been heard and that manifestation is already yours. And that means living in your value and showing up even when you get rejected and getting up even after you fall, because you will make it to a point where somebody will acknowledge you and reward you, and you will make that money or you will make that goal. But real faith is in the doing and the taking of the action. And in the day to day, now I understand, God, it's in the day to day. What have you been doing day to day? That's how you actually build your karma. That's how you tell the universe that you're ready for your abundance, because you have to train through hard work to be strong enough to bear the weight and responsibility of that abundance. And then we have this other card here, time to breathe out. Relax, it's saying. Because you have done well. And it's like, exhale, just exhale. Relax. This is the right process. You are on the right path. Word, yep. I missed the book that went to this color. What that means. I missed the book that went to this color, and oh, I love you, God. You are finally starting to see the full spectrum. It's not just haves and have-nots, or I'm there or I'm not there. It's the full spectrum. Life is getting so much more colorful now. It's not black and white anymore. And that's what Born Without Boundaries is about. It's about growing up, and growing up actually helps you see the full spectrum instead of just cut and dry and simple. And people who see cut and dry, black and white, are childish, because only children can't see the full spectrum. Enlightenment is being able to see the full spectrum. It's saying you're going to start to see the world in colors and in ways that you haven't before, because this whole time is about expansion of the soul, of your life purpose, of your mindset. That's what the cocoon is about. It's got to break you down. It's got to break down the way you've always done things, the way you used to do things, the way you used to see things. It's got to break that shit down in order to make room for the new. Oh, what's this? Heightened intuition. Be extra aware of your inner knowingness as it's trustworthy. Okay. Control issues. I love this card. And interestingly enough, it was the hardest card for me to understand. Utilize your God-given strength and power. Just that is good advice. Utilize your God-given strength and power. That's just good advice on its own. But this is even more important. Instead of fearing that others may try to control you, instead of fearing that others are going to choose you, not choose you, get in your way, block you, all that paranoia to blame it on somebody else, embrace your strength and your power. And it doesn't matter where the fucking obstacles, that's what this card is really saying. It doesn't matter where the fucking obstacles are coming from, why they're there, or how they got there. It matters how you react to them and what you do with them. Every single time you give up your power by making it about what they did to me and how unfair it is. And it may be unfair. That's true. And it may be malicious. That's true. It don't fucking matter at the end of the day. What matters is, what do you do now? That's what defines you. You give away your power to them if you say, you control me. The decisions you've made for me are what define who I am. Bullshit. I am my own. So whatever you do to me, it's my reactions that define me and my potential, not your choices for me, and especially not limitations you put on me. Guys, it's a mindset that God is trying to get us into so that we can get the abundance we deserve. I love you guys, and I hope you have a very wonderful, happy rest of the day. I'm going to go grab a snack and get into filming more videos. I hope you guys will watch them. I love y'all. Bye. Oh, please remember to leave your comments below. Just because you can't participate in the live chat, it doesn't mean I don't want to know what you think. I will read those comments. I love you guys. See you in the videos.